So when I met up with Allison for a third time, I found out that she uses metacognitive learning strategies when processing information. She uses procedural knowledge, which is knowledge about doing things when she learns. She gets a good understanding about the things that she is learning and processing, and then uses conditional knowledge, which is learning about how to process and use the procedural knowledge. For example, in one of her classes, she has to use computers and a program that's called Excel, and if she was to try and explain it to somebody using like vocab, she wouldn't be able to. But if it was right in front of her and she was trying to teach someone as she was doing it onto the computer, it would be much easier for the person to learn because she's a hands-on learner, and so it's easier for her to demonstrate what she has learned by like hands-on with the computer in front of her. So that was interesting, and I found out a lot about her, and so yeah.
And the subject of my video vlogs, Nattery from Thailand, the most important thing to her, the thing that she is stressing the most, is learning English. All of her classes are English second language classes that she's taking here at State, and that's her biggest motivation. Extrinsic motivation is just, it's expected of her by a lot of people to just be able to speak English fluently, even though it's like way easier said than done. And she uses the media, like television, music, social media, to learn and keep up with the current times.
For my video log, I learned that Nick's learning process is heavily influenced by his motivation for the subject. With kinesiology, which is his major, he has really high like intrinsic motivation. He said he would do the work without getting paid. He just like loves it. And he said that helps him with the studies because he doesn't realize how much effort he's putting into it. Also, like Hannah's friend, he uses procedural knowledge. He really likes to know the ins and outs of things. And once he learns something new, he will Google everything there is to know about it, and he likes to know exactly what he's talking about. He also said he learns best when he has a one-on-one, like personal relationship with his instructor. And I believe that he is that way because he comes from a small town where he knew all his teachers knew him. He could have one-on-one time with them, and he learns best that way.
So one thing that I realized about other people from this like experience is that like everyone has different ways of learning. Obviously Allison, she's hands-on, and I would have never known that if I didn't, have this interaction. And it's just interesting that everyone learns in a different way because, I'm not just a hands-on learner, so it's different.
And I would agree with what Hannah said. Just learning about different people's styles of learning has been very helpful through this video project, and it's important as a future educator to have an understanding of everybody's different perspectives and have patience and understand that everybody sees things in a different way, and that the best thing you can do is to have a non-judgmental approach to everyone's learning style so they can feel comfortable.
Before this project, I didn't realize how much my hometown culture kind of affected the way I learned. Since I'm from a bigger school, I believe that I learned better in bigger groups and learned by doing. There was lots of opportunities that I was offered. And Nick, like I said, he's from a smaller town, more one-on-one learning. And I guess I just didn't realize how much I was actually affected by the way I grew up and how much I was influenced by it in my learning.
And it helped us learn a lot about ourselves too. And I found out by interacting with Allison that I am, I'm a visual learner, hands-on learner, and auditory. I have to get the full effect of learning, I need all three of those at the same time. I can't just sit through a lecture. I have to be on my computer typing notes, listening to the lecture, and then seeing what I write down. So I don't know, it's a lot more beneficial to me now, seeing how other people learn and then using the way they learn with the way that I learn. It's just different.
Mm-hmm. I think going into this video project, I always thought of myself as having a very open mindset and not being judgmental, but working with Nattery, who is completely opposite of me, has given me more patience and even more understanding because I've been forced, to learn how to be polite with somebody that you have different opinions on. And I think it's helped me grow as a person and learn more about her culture and more about the world.
What I took from this video project is what kind of learner I am. I was always asked these questions, and you're kind of supposed to figure it out at an early age, but I never really knew I never realized how I learned best. And after learning about how Nick learns with his motivation and everything, I learned that I am a hands-on learner and I learn by doing. And it's actually really helped me academically now that I realize it. And it's kind of funny because you're supposed to learn that in elementary school and I'm just learning it as a freshman in college, but it's been helpful to me.
Implications, I don't know.
Oh,
You guys wanna say
I think
about
this
that?
video project, just for future teacher, has been helpful because we are focusing on individual learning styles, and like Kelly said, in elementary school, teachers
Oh yeah.
have a very specific approach with each student. They take the time to read with them outside in the hallway. They do, they check up on them one-on-one more. And I think through high school, we became used to the standardized testing. Teachers kind of treated everybody like we were on the same playing field. And I think as a future educator, what I want to focus on is just making each student feel special and that I understand each of their learning styles.
Yeah.
I would just say that about the whole one-on-one thing. As a future teacher, I want to know how each individual student learns, and I want to accommodate how each person learns in what I teach and my lessons. So if I have lots of students who learn by doing, I want to make a lesson that has doing, seeing, hearing, and kind of just accommodate to all of the different learning styles.
Make it beneficial for everyone, because when you have a relationship with your kids, the outcome of learning is more successful. So
Definitely. Yep.